Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. Look, first of all, I'm away, so obviously I'm doing a little bit different backgrounds, but, struggling to... Look, Donny van der Beek's loan move, whether we're going to buy a midfielder, they're all irrelevant when you wake up to what many United fans and football fans are waking up to this morning. Very serious allegations. A young female who is apparently the girlfriend of a current Manchester United footballer Mason Greenwood has put pictures and quite disturbing, audio recordings on social media, which have then been shared widely. Apparently these have now been deleted. There has been a statement from Manchester United via Simon Stone saying that Manchester United are investigating the matter and they take these matters very seriously. You will no doubt see a lot of articles and websites and maybe other YouTubers and social media influencers saying things that they don't really understand today about throw away the key or, innocent till proven guilty and all these sort of things in what is a very serious matter. Game over is what I would say, because this is not about football. What I want to say is, unfortunately, it's something we've mentioned quite a few times in football over recent years, is that and what supersedes this is the fact that there is quite serious allegations of assault and worse. And Manchester United Football Club and the police need to lead on this. If those photos have been deleted, they need to have been deleted for legal reasons. There needs to be an outcome here. What we cannot have is any sort of sweeping under the carpet that, oh, it was just fake or anything like this. If somebody's got hold of an account and it's all fake, then that person needs to be dealt with. If it's real, then it needs to be dealt with. What I think many people will be feeling this morning is that football is football. Genius in your feet doesn't mean genius in your brain. All my life, I used to idolise footballers, and then I grew up. We see people going, oh, I've got such and such player in my DMs, this, that and the other. They're just people. They're just people, and they are idolised like gods. And the problem with that is, when you idolise gods or footballers, they have people around them. I call them vultures, agents, friends, clubs, who just make them think they're capable of anything. And the reality is, no matter how much money you've got in your bank account, it doesn't allow you to treat anybody in a bad way. And unfortunately, it is something that is, I wouldn't say rife, but it's a problem in football. And a lot of things get kept quiet, but there is a lot of issues in football. And that is partly because these people are given way too much too soon and told that they're absolutely amazing, and they never learn. And I would say to any footballer who's in the game or starting out in the game, one of the most important things you can do is get people around you who aren't in awe of you, who aren't just telling you things because they want to hang around with you or they want to make money off you. And you know what? I'd like to say, just stick close to your family, and I'm sure people have got really good families, but even family members can be a letdown. It's very difficult, and I think clubs, FAs, organisations need to do a lot more. Back to these allegations, I think that, look, I'm not steering the subject here, but the reality is you've got to be, I did work in the police many years ago. I know how these things should work. I know how these incidents should work. I know how the judicial system in this country will work. You've got to be very, very careful because there will be people who are very angry and are going to be judge and jury before we even know what's happened. We need to wait for official statements. Now, scenarios are very important. Facts are facts. There are pictures out there. There are recordings out there. The authenticity of those at the moment, we do not know. However, there is a bit of a holding statement from Manchester United, which we've read via Simon Stone on Twitter. I'm going to say something now and people will react to it in probably the wrong way. And in this country, whether you like it or not, innocent until proven guilty. And that is where people need to be very careful, because chucking out, throw away the key, do this. And, I've even seen people having a go at the potential victim in this. So look, innocent till proven guilty. If you're thinking about saying something or recording something, I'd advise you to think very carefully about what you're going to say. If you think about the Man City footballer case, he is currently not playing football. There's one at Everton who's currently not playing football. Now, everyone says, oh, they're a nonce, this, that, and the other, whatever, terms I just do not like. But the reality is, there are footballers who are not playing football at the moment, and serious allegations have been made against them. And You know, that may be something that happens. We'll have to wait and see. But until you go to court and until you are found guilty, you are not guilty in UK law. So whether you like the term innocent until proven guilty, whether you want to make your mind up, and let's be honest, in the current world, everybody makes their mind up off very little information, and that's just the world we live in, then that is going to be the case in the UK. We are going to have to wait and see what happens. But what I want to see happen is, and I don't care what footballer it is, I'm loath to use the name, and I'm loath to associate it with football, because unfortunately as a fan channel, we are reacting to this on a Sunday morning, 2 days out from the end of the transfer window, and I want to be talking about Donny van der Beek, I want to be talking about transfers, and unfortunately we're talking about very serious allegations against a young female, and you know, most people are going to be in the dark about this, and maybe stay in the dark about this for a very long time if it goes through the areas it needs to. But as I said, what needs to happen is it cannot just be, oh, what was all that about on that Sunday morning, and everyone carries on. Police need to lead on this, and the club needs to, you know, look, I've read all sorts of stuff. I think it's, at this moment in time, it's completely unfounded to start saying that this shouldn't be covered up, this, that and the other, because you can't cover up that sort of thing. There needs to be an end game, and I can't speculate about what the end game could be. It could be really, really bad for that particular player. It could be that this is a massive, big, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I think now is not the time to start making predictions, but they're very serious allegations. And I think this morning, when I was talking about doing this video, I said, look, all I'm going to do is basically say that this is not a nice situation, and some people would just want to watch something where they can, you know, get in the comments and sort of, or listen to something, but we can't be going live having a big debate about it. Like, we can't do that, because then you start wandering into areas that you don't want to wander into. There is very serious allegations, and if these allegations are true, football doesn't matter. Football doesn't matter. If anything to do with what people saw this morning, and hopefully they have been deleted now, because, you know, it's traumatic, your thought always has to be with that victim. And, you know, the thing about football is, and I'll take it away from this for a second, is the corruption money has caused in football. With money comes corruption. It's a lesson in history, and there is a lot of money in football, and we've got owners who bought us for money, we've got players, and not just our club, other clubs as well, and we've got players who are paid ridiculous amounts of money. And when you give teenagers ridiculous amounts of money and they've not learnt life lessons, and they're surrounded by people saying you can have that, you can have that, you can have that, the reality is, I'm a parent, some of you will be parents, some of you will be teenagers. The lessons you learn in life that are the most important is respect and knowing your boundaries. You can't just take. And unfortunately, what we are going to do when we make young people very, very rich and surround them with people who say, you can have this, you can have this, you're great, you're great, you're great. Where are they learning those lessons that no matter how much money you've got in your bank account, some things you cannot just take? And look, that's not just relevant to this. We don't know what's gone on in this yet, but it will keep happening. These problems will keep happening. They've been happening for a long time. You know, I remember a quote from Florentino Perez, I think it was in 2006. This is not just an English football problem. It happens all over Europe, and it happens because of money and people who believe and are told that they are something special when they are something special on a football pitch. But off the pitch, it doesn't matter. You've got to have morals, you've got to have boundaries. And I just worry about this, because I know a lot of people in this industry who live up the arse of agents and footballers. And I always say, look, if these footballers want a chat, we'll have a chat with them. But I'm not living up the arse off them, because to be honest with you, I don't actually know them, and they might be the biggest idiots in the world. I don't know. There's some cracking footballers out there. There's some people who get it, there's some who don't. It's a real shame that this is associated with Manchester United Football Club this morning, but they need to lead from the front. The police need to lead from the front. And my stance, if you want to know it, is that it doesn't matter if the footballer's good, if they're bad, if they've got the potential to be world class. There's law. If you break the law, there are punishments, and you have to face up to those punishments. I've heard people in the past say, oh, you know, because we've heard it with like superstar footballers, you know, I'm not taking it away from this. We've heard it from about footballers in the past, and people go, oh, you know, what happens to their career? What happens to their career? To be honest, I don't care. I do not care, because personally for me, I want my team and my country, and I want to watch really good footballers. But if they do bad things, they're the same as you and me, and they must be punished for it. So look, I think we need a period of calm. You've got to be professional on this. I understand emotions are running high. You've got to put the trust in the powers that be to do the job properly, and we will need to go from there. There could be suspensions, there could be nothing. There could be court cases, there could be nothing. There could be reveals that we haven't had yet. There could be, this is going down the path we fear, and we just have to wait. And you know, these people online who start going, anybody who says innocent till proven guilty is getting blocked. Well, look, I understand your frustrations, but that's the world we live in. In the UK, you are innocent until you are proven guilty, and that guilt thing might not happen for a year. You know, if it goes to court. So look, football this morning doesn't really matter. These are very serious allegations, and we will see what happens from here. But I don't agree with sensationalising this any more than it needs to be. I don't agree with being judge and jury, because from people who've got no idea what they're talking about and are actually treading on very serious ground. You know, if you start saying this needs to happen, that needs to happen, and you don't have all the facts, then you're going to face very, very serious issues yourself. But above all this, the most important thing is, I woke up this morning, and I'm sure many of you woke up this morning, to very disturbing pictures and recordings. And I don't care whether it's to do with football or not. The fact that it's to do with our football club, we have to acknowledge it and obviously deal with it. But the person who's dealing with this the most, if from what we've seen, is that poor young girl. And it's horrific that somebody has to go through that. And what I just want to say at the end as well is, if you are somebody who's victim of this, then please contact the police, because, you know, the vulnerability of people who are trapped in those sort of scenarios is terrifying, as are the injuries and the audios. Now, I would also say at the moment, we don't know conclusively what this is all about, but what we do know is that those pictures and audios represent something that we don't want in society. And if you are a victim of that, or if you know anybody who is a victim of that, then please, there is, you know, phone the police, 999 in the UK, find what it is in your country, because it's very, very serious allegations, and that's, I'm sure, where everybody's head is at the moment. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, it's not what we want to be talking about. And I think we need to speak, if we're going to speak on things like this, then we need to speak maturely and professionally, and acknowledge the victim, because sometimes they get lost. And that's where the focus needs to be. What's the truth behind this? What's the truth behind the audio? What's the truth behind the pictures? And that's where the attention needs to be from everybody at the moment, because that will lead to where we need to go next. Thanks everyone for watching. We will be back with an 8 o'clock show tonight, and hopefully we won't be talking about this much longer, because it will be dealt with by people who are far more qualified than analysts and social media accounts. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care.